There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory.
Newly leaked vision from the US Navy.
The US government acknowledging the existence
Of unidentified flying objects.
UFO.
My gosh. Oh, take that.
Several retired Navy officers say the technology on display is between 100 and 1,000 years ahead of that possessed by the United States. It and several other videos are now under review by a government task force. From the realms of science fiction straight to the White House.
Splashed. Mark bearing and range.
This footage, leaked from the US Navy, defied explanation, sparking legitimate inquiries within the Pentagon.
The public has been able to see several astounding images of what certainly qualify as UFOs during encounters with the U.S. Navy. There's no question that the Pentagon has censored data to go along with the photos and videos, but none of that information has been leaked or otherwise released, that is, until today.
Videos recorded by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs. For the first time, radar images recorded inside a Navy ship have confirmed the presence of several unknown objects that swarmed around the ship for hours.
OD, if you can write a general lat long where we're at, and the number of contacts you got, get the course and speed meters off.
Over a period of hours, crew members on the USS Omaha, which is located in the center of this radar screen, monitored the approach of the unknown objects, as many as 14 at one point, all around the ship. Two different radar systems watched the objects and estimated their speed.
Track 781 just sped up to 46 knots, 50 knots, closing in. 38 knots.
That one's pretty much perfectly 000 relative, right?
Yeah.
Corbell obtained the images from sources he declines to identify. The Pentagon's UAP task force considers the Omaha spheres to be true unknowns.
The Pentagon confirming the video was taken by Navy personnel. The images now being reviewed by a government task force set to brief Congress next month on what they call unidentified aerial phenomenon. This weekend, 60 Minutes speaking to fighter pilots who reported seeing unidentified flying objects.
Every day for at least a couple years.
We may well be looking at a true unknown, which is to say intelligently controlled machinery that is not understood to be in the possession of the United States, China or Russia, which are the three most advanced countries in terms of military aviation. The Pentagon itself has admitted this continuing trend of truly unexplained things coming into the public consciousness more than they have before.
Let's talk a little bit more about the shape of these crafts, these unknowns, as you call them. They appear to be, as you have said, transmedian craft. Explain to people the shape and what we're seeing on this radar.
Well, the transmedium craft are those which can travel through air, space, and water. In addition, it's perfectly round, a sphere. It is self-illuminated. It has no rotor. It has no wings. It has no thermal exhaust because the image itself is recorded on a thermal screen, a thermal sensor. So how is it flying? It's pretty scary. If this is foreign technology, then we have had a major intelligence failure by not seeing that this is coming.
What's the strangest phenomena you've investigated or encountered?
Well, I think the strangest case I came across, it was before my time, but I did a cold case review, the Rendlesham Forest UFO incident. Something actually landed, was witnessed by multiple military officers, and we had physical trace evidence at the landing site, including radioactivity levels significantly higher than the average background.
Wow.
But in our case files, we had hundreds and hundreds of cases over the years, and the really interesting ones were those ones where we had sightings from pilots, UFOs tracked on radar, hard corroborative evidence. That's what we were after.
There are things flying over national security installations. We don't know who they are. We don't know what it is. It isn't ours. We need to find out.
It's been 70 years since the Pentagon opened its first UFO study. In recent decades, there has been little official acknowledgement of the phenomenon. Those sightings have continued. These cases are often researched by citizen groups.
We've been studying UFOs for all these years, and almost all of the evidence is witness testimony. You know, it's understandable, it's exciting, it convinced me years ago and still does, but it is just witness testimony. And you need something beyond that. That's why the Navy videos and all the data is so exciting.
When it comes to aliens, there's some things I just can't tell you on air. You know, no, look. The truth is that when I came into office, I asked, right? I was like, all right, you know, is there the lab somewhere where we're keeping the alien specimens in spaceship? You know, they did a little bit of research, and the answer was no. But what is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable pattern. And so, you know, I think that people still take seriously trying to investigate and figure out what that is.